quiet for a second now.
Mm-hmm. How quiet?
Well,
Quieter than this?
you can join in if you feel like it, but I'm just gonna.
I'm driving home for Christmas. Oh, can't wait to see those faces. Good, I'm driving home for Christmas. Yeah, well, I'm moving down that line. And it's been so fucking long, but I will be there. I sing this song to pass the time away, driving in my car, driving home for Christmas.
Paul.
Did you like that?
I love that.
Just trying to get you in the mood, guy.
Well, hello everybody. This happened to our Christmas podcast.
Christmas time.
That's Paul, and I am Guy, and
Hi.
That's Just Ridiculous.
Yes, it's us again.
Happy Christmas, one
Merry
and all.
Christmas, one and
What
all.
was that tune?
Driving home for Christmas. It's by Chris Rea.
Chris Rea, right?
Do you remember him?
Yeah, of course I do, because my dad was driving home to Christmas when he killed himself. Sorry to start this up again. We cannot get off Father Time.
It's like a scratch in
We're gonna get off it. I'm not going to talk about it
in the
anymore.
fabric of reality.
He was driving home for Christmas, which is like, that song is a bit painful.
I'm so sorry, guy. I chose badly.
No, it's not, but you sung it in such a beautiful way.
I thought I sang it with feeling, and
Did you know about? Did you think about my dad when? Did you pick that because you knew my dad was driving home when he killed himself and left a young family weeping by the Christmas tree?
I couldn't say, guy. I mean, if I'd done a thing like that, it would be tantamount to bullying.
Actually, this week a listener, our listener, not Andy Collinshaw, another
Amazingly enough,
exactly, our other listener, wrote and said, "Is Guy bullying Paul?" ? And I thought I won't show Paul that because I'm a bit embarrassed.
We could just find out now. Let's see if I'm bullying.
No. Oh! You don't, Paul. You can't do.
Merry Christmas, guy.
I told you not to. You're on my microphone. Don't do that. Excuse me. Anyway,
Do you feel bullied, guy?
well, you get physical.
I have
To be honest with you, you do get physical.
You need putting in line, guy. They spared the rod with you, didn't they? Yes, well, they didn't with me. I know how it's done. So don't worry. I've got you covered. Tough love, guy.
You do often spring across the sofa and hit me, which I don't think I've ever done to anyone in my entire life.
Well, you know,
you make quite free with my body with your punches.
They're not punches if I really punch you.
They are, because you do that thing where you grind your knuckle into my neck.
No, it's when I put the fingers behind the collarbone.
Yeah, I don't like it, all right? Anyway, the person...
Stop it now.
Who was it? It was Philippa. Philippa,
hi, Philippa.
Who said that I'm bullying Paul? I don't think so.
Well, let's see how it goes, eh?
Have you got a wreath?
Yes, got one from Morrison's.
Right.
A better way to shop and save.
Right.
I got one for $4, which was reduced from $8.
Okay, that's good, because we're just about a few days before Christmas Day, and we're recording this on, what is it, Thursday today? It's going to be out.
Solstice tomorrow.
So it's a couple of days before you'll hear this.
Tomorrow the light starts to come back.
And you say this is a good time to go and start getting my Christmas decor.
Fuck yeah. I mean, I don't buy anything Christmassy before today.
Oh, yeah, you bought your Christmas tree on Boxing Day, didn't you?
No, guy, that's an exaggeration. I usually buy my wanker. I usually buy my Christmas tree on Christmas Eve because I like the feeling of
Do you get all your Easter eggs just after Easter?
Of dragging a Christmas tree through town, which I always just don't put one on my shoulder. And you get really friendly looks and waves from people because that's the way it used to be done. And I think it's really...
Have we discussed this?
What do you mean?
Because I want to... About you...
You get your feeling of deja vu?
No,
Am I boring you?
Have we podded it?
Putting what?
You carrying your Christmas tree back down the road on Christmas Eve and everyone waving at you.
No, I've never told anyone that in my life.
Well, I know about it.
How do you know?
Because you told me, and in your little drama, you're walking down the pavement. Your Christmas tree's on your shoulder. You say that,
this has
and
happened to me in
everyone's
Bethnal
going,
Green.
"Hi, Paul. Hi,
Hey, Paul.
And
Merry Christmas. Hey, Merry Christmas to you all.
It sounds like a Richard Curtis scene, doesn't it?
It's fucking brilliant, and that's what happens. Try it sometime.
Well,
They might even wave at you.
I'm flicking V signs.
You know, I'm just thinking about in Pilton and the Glastonbury guy. You might even get a few waves, which, let's face it, that would be a minor Christmas miracle. Anyway,
so I went to get a wreath. I went to get a wreath. This is on the 18th.
Which wreath?
From the front door.
Oh, right, okay.
And my heart was like a cooked walnut. It was like a tightened fist. It was so mean. I felt so mean and tight about, I don't know what, about Christmas. And I looked at it and I thought, we don't really need a wreath, do we? And I thought, I'll knock that off the list. I don't know why. I just didn't want to kind of give. I felt so mean and miserly. And then I went and had a look at some Christmas...
Scroogeism, that's what it's called.
It comes into it, actually, because then I went to look at some Christmas decoration.
Miserly.
And I thought, we don't need it. We could have a perfectly good Christmas without decorations.
Fuck that shit.
Totally.
I'll get some grass out of the garden and just fucking put that on the floor.
Then I was trying to make a menu of what I was going to eat, for the 4 or 5 days.
Perfectly good cat turd in that tray.
And I thought, is there anything wrong with turkey for 3 days? You can have it on Christmas.
Fuck that, yeah.
Why
even bother with a turkey?
Yeah.
I'm going to get an oven-ready Buxton.
Yeah, exactly. And just a bottle or two of decent wine. We don't need to...
Not even fucking decent wine.
And I looked at the crackers and I thought, what is that? Just litter. And then that night, then the next day, I went to a house where there were some kids, and in order to quieten the kids down, they put the telly on, and I saw it out the corner of my eye, and it was the Muppet Christmas
special.
Yeah, which is a pastiche of Dickens.
Right.
Christmas.
Yes, come on, guy, get to the point.
What's it called?
Is there a point to all this?
Yes, just listen to this.
Well, it's called A Christmas Carol, guy.
Is it called A Christmas Carol?
Yes, of course it is.
And I watched him out the corner of my eye, and he really did remind me of
you.
Of me. No, he really did. And then I realised that I know it's absolutely true, but the tight I am around Christmas.
Marley.
And I look at a wreath and I go, that's £6.50. I'm not going to spend £6.50. That actually, the more money I tried to save, the poorer I felt. The tighter and the poorer and the meaner I was, the poorer I felt. I didn't feel like, I'm rich. I've saved lots of money at Christmas. I thought, I've got no money at all. I can't even afford a wreath. I can afford a wreath quite easily. And I thought it was amazing how Dickens had totally understood my character.
Even across time.
Well, he had understood my type. My syndrome,
Guy,
my predicament.
I think you've just made an admission there, haven't you? That time travel is possible in thought. Anyway, let's go on.
No, it's not. That's
what a Christmas Carol is all about.
Small mind. That is a small mind looking at a big literature.
No.
The big mind says there are types. There is humanity. There is there are psychological.
That's not a fucking big mind. That is a hidebound mind, and it's a mind that is enchained by Freudian psychoanalysis. That's the be all and end all for people like you. But do go on.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, thank you for agreeing with me. It's really nice, just for a change. And I just thought, my God, I'm so like him. And I went out and I bought some nice things and didn't quite extend as far as my Christmas present to you. I'm feeling a bit embarrassed right now because I got Paul and his girlfriend a tin of almonds. My heart hadn't fully unfurled from boiled walnut.
Especially given that Eleanor is allergic to almonds.
I know. I didn't know that, though. At least I didn't get rolled up. I know she's allergic to fish. But anyway, my heart had not fully unfurled from the boiled walnut into the huge, beautiful flower that it now is. And I got a tin of almonds. And what happened is, I'm not sure everyone will be familiar with this, Paul gave me a very, very generous present. And I took the present and I got embarrassed about it, Paul.
A box of wank socks.
No. So yours was a really lovely present. And I felt Are you sure? I should just free myself, shouldn't I? Just go.
Free your ass.
Do you know what I mean? When someone gives you a nicer present than you give that,
No,
but you're
Guy,
better
look,
at giving presents.
I'm over it, mate.
And
you
I'm
know.
better at
Like I care, you know. I know
It's
you're a
true.
tightwad.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting anything, and that's fine.
Do you think I am very mean?
You've got that side to you, but then you can be very generous as well.
Yeah,
When it makes you look good, you're really generous.
When it makes that's so true. Do you think that's true? Is it that simple?
I don't know. Sometimes when I'm joking, I say things that are really true. It's up to you to find out.
Well, I'm asking you.
I'm not the person who can say that, am I?
Why not? You know me quite well.
You have to look within your
Someone's
heart,
got
Guy.
to say. If I look within my heart, I just see what I want to see. Mainly.
Is that right?
Not entirely. But do you think it is like that?
Look, the man in the mirror guy, he knows better than I could.
Does he?
Yeah. Engage. Look deep into your own eyes.
But maybe you're too generous, though. Or do you think you can't be?
I probably am, yeah.
That's why when I got the socks, I thought, oh God, I hope Paul's got some turkey to go on the table, and it hasn't all gone in my
your
beautiful
socks. No, it just went on the credit card. Anyway, look. I just don't know where this is going. It's just like meandering. Shall I tell you a little Christmas story? You can time me, and just out of interest, see how long this lasts, right?
Yeah, why am I timing you?
Now.
If it's boring, I'll tell you.
Because I want to show you how you tell a story quite succinctly, Guy.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
So anyway, once upon a time, my brother...
Bing, too long.
Stop it! My brother, it was Christmas in Leeds. It was a couple of years ago. Well, it was a couple of decades ago, actually. Anyway, he went round to his friend's house, and his friend's mum was a thespian, and she was in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And his friend answered the door, and a waft of dope smoke came out the door, and he stood there and he said, "You can come in if you want, Dave, but it's a bit weird because the house is full of dwarves, because my mum's putting up 5 of the 7 dwarfs." And my brother said, "All right, fair enough. Well, it's fine." He had a bottle of wine in his hand, walked in, they were all sat there smoking pot, with their little legs sticking off the sofa and what have you. And if this is dwarfist, I'm really sorry. If this is again, but it's the truth. This is what happened.
Why would that be dwarfist?
I don't know, because I'm not a dwarf, all right? But this happened. This is a true story. So my brother walked in and sat down and said hello to them all, and then they had normal names. And basically, they all started drinking and smoking pot and watching the Christmas crap on TV. And at that time, it was the time of a programme called The Singing Ringing Tree, which it was the first repeats of that in England, which featured a malevolent dwarf as its main character. And as a result, there was a phrase that was going around Leeds at the time, which was in common usage. Anyway, my brother in his inebriated condition turned round to Chris and just said, at a moment when there was silence in the room and even a gap in the noise on the TV, "Fuck off, you evil dwarf." And it fell into the room like a massive lead cock. My brother looked horrified and like sort of stared at the floor and said, "Horse, you evil horse." And all the dwarves went to bed one by one, and my brother and Chris were sat there on their own with their mum. Anyway, that's the story. So there's something we call dwarf horse.
Right.
Which is when you say something and you try and cover it up badly.
Up,
which, funnily enough, is what has happened to Jeremy Corbyn this week. But I would maintain that that's not dwarf horse, because I think, actually, that Jeremy Corbyn is completely incapable of saying the word stupid woman, because he's so fucking right on.
Well, I think in a way, Paul, that's why it's such an issue, because it is so out of character.
What about my story?
What do you mean? What am I meant to do?
You've changed the subject now.
I know I was timing it. Oh, it was really quickly told. Well done.
Well, how long did that last, that story? About a minute and a half. Go, Guy. Christmas story.
No, but let's just talk about this. So he's...
I want a Christmas story now.
No, I haven't got a Christmas story.
You fucking title.
I'm not
Tell me a Christmas story that
I'm not your puppet.
That makes me look good and you look bad.
My father was driving home.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And there were 4 little children around the tree. And they were very unhappy. They were very unhappy.
No, it is sad, Guy. I'm sorry about you.
No, it's not sad at all. No, it's ridiculous. But Jeremy Corbyn. It's because it's so out of character.
Oh,
if it had been Dave or Gordon Brown or Tony Blair, you'd say, well, that's what he says, is that stupid woman. But with him, so is it like underneath all that right onness is actually a
fetid centre?
Exactly, a bloke. He's
fucking geezer.
Pissed off geezer. Is he under all that?
Who knows?
It's looking good though, Brexit. I'm pleased about that.
What, the Brexit?
Very much
Christmas Brexit.
Very much going to plan.
Well, you know, there are some positive aspects to it. They are somewhat buckling, it would appear, the opposition, which is always good. But, you know, it's by no means a done deal, is it, Guy?
No, it's going very much to plan. It's going very much to plan.
Well, anyway, can we draw a veil over this? Because I don't want to fucking
I'm just
lose
gonna
all
say,
our
last thing I'm going to say.
in one
we
go
have
because
the
of
EU
your...
exactly where we want them. That's we're going to finish.
There are a lot of people who would say that those particular tables are turned. But you know what? I think it's Christmas, Guy, and we can afford to not think about that.
Are you going to any parties this year?
What, you mean?
Christmas party?
No, I don't like Christmas parties.
Oh, this is new. When have you? Since when have you not liked a party?
There was one that I should have been invited to really the other day, but wasn't, which I'm not going to moan on about.
What do you think about a party you've not been invited to?
Well, only because I saw pictures of it, and it's my friend died on Christmas Day morning.
So did mine.
No, your dad was not your friend.
How can we talk about
And
my dad
anyway, his old company had a Christmas
Hold on,
party.
we haven't had Christmas yet. He can't have died on Christmas morning.
Well, it was a few years ago.
Oh, right. I thought you meant next Christmas Day.
My
This
friend
Christmas.
Gigi died, and his old company had a party the other day, which I wasn't invited to. But the thing is, I wouldn't have gone anyway because it was in fucking London, and I'm too far away for all that. And
Last party you went to was a couple of days ago, and you said, "Guy, I don't really want to go to this party. I've got to go long-faced. I'm not really feeling in the
Well,
mood."
only because I was
I'm not
feeling
really
a bit down in the dumps.
Exactly, and then I noticed a little a WhatsApp message came in around between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3.
Saying what? Guy, fucking hell, man. I love you. Fucking hell. Yeah, well, I had a good time.
Along those lines, did you have a good time? I thought, oh, good, Paul's managed to.
Yeah, I did have a good time. And then I had to go to the airport the next morning at literally, I'd set off at 6:30, and that wasn't so good.
Yeah.
It was all right. I managed to.
You are very good in a party, though.
Am I?
I had a I mean it really brings a party and holidays totally bring out the best in you. You're really good at those. You're just because you're so fantastic at entertaining people, entertaining a room and filling it with joy and love. You know, it's one of your real. Is there a way to monetize that?
Well, I don't think so. Otherwise, I would have done it by now. The thing is that it's like I said about
there's no room that you can't walk into, and in a matter of 10, 15 minutes, the kind of vibration hasn't increased in a nice way.
The thing is, Guy, a few
unless
people
they know you very well.
You know, you should do this and you should do that and you should be doing this and you should be doing stand-up or be on telly. But I always...
I'm not trying to give you a career advice. Who am
I hate it all. I just hate the idea of it. I can't do it. There's no way.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about then?
I'm talking about someone you hire to get your party going.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, it's
like a party hooker.
Right. Clandestine, though. No one knows that you're on the payroll.
Well, like a party job.
You're like a DJ without the music.
A fluffer.
Fluffer. That's exactly what you are. I'll do all the advertising. I'll be your agent. And I say, my man doesn't come to the party. But if you want your party to go, bring him. I'll get him there. I can get him there. 10 grand.
Right. Okay.
And then he'll come, and then you'll at the end of the night.
So how are you going to make any money out of this then?
And if you want your party to go, I'll bring the boy along in the car, and I sit outside in the car, right, reading the newspaper, and then like a pimp,
listening to me going, yep, that's great, Paul. Okay, now, yep, go over to the miserable-looking cow in the corner, and just give her a bit of chat.
Come on, the teeth, the full personality,
you've
everything.
You've got a little camera and everything.
Give her the works.
I'm not doing it.
Oh right, okay.
No. I'm not doing. Look, parties are fine. Everyone gets arseholed and they just do what they want, don't they?
No, they don't. I went to a very bad one the other day, a really bad one, and I tried to escape. I said, I'm just sloping off. They got the gardener to do the live entertainment, and they were quite right. They were quite right on people.
Are you sure about this?
And they said it's great. Leon, the gardener, whatever it is going to do a short set in the kitchen. You've got to come into the kitchen anyway.
What, a set of gardening?
Leon, the gardener, was a really
digging a hole in the kitchen.
Untalented, drunken lout, really nasty man, bitter, and he played his guitar really loud and made I swear, Paul, I looked at it and I thought that's the only musician I've ever seen where I thought I could do as well as that, and I've never thought that in my life. He was so talentless, and somehow he'd been told that all her friends wanted to listen to him, and she got everyone into this room, and there was a sort of security cordon put around the kitchen, and it was made really embarrassing and difficult to leave. And the guy was a fucking, mood killer. And I just thought,
What sort of stuff was he doing?
it was very hard to tell. It was like his own kind of country and western kind of blues. But he sung off tune and no one could talk. And I promise you, Paul, not one person was looking at him, even though some were standing as close as 4 feet. Their backs were turned to this guy.
In horror.
It was so clear that he was not making any contact to the room. And he said, I'll just do one more, I won't do it. And he went on. So I thought, I'm going to slip away. So I said to my mate, I'm leaving. Got outside. They had those electronic gates. And I couldn't get out the gates. And I suddenly felt so angry that I couldn't leave the party. So I thought, I'm going to break the gates to get out. Because I can't go back in the house. The problem was, I'd have to go to the host and say, do you mind opening your gates? Because every time anyone even walked out the kitchen, he'd go, where are you going? Come back. Leon's playing. You'll love this next one. And drag them back in. And I knew that I was going to get dragged back in. So I ended up scaling the gates, got right over the top of the gates. My car was outside. Got in the car and just went home via Chippy.
Nice one. Well, at least all's well that ends well, eh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some horrible Christmas parties. I remember the time when Powley let off an air bomb in the pub. That was quite good.
What's an
at
air
Christmas?
bomb?
Air bomb repeater.
What's that?
It's about an 8-inch long firework with about a 2-inch across thing, and it fires these balls out that go, poof, and then they go up in the air and they go boom like that with a big flash. And he let one off in the pub.
Not appropriate for indoors.
And these in a tiny little pub, and they were just bombing. They were just bouncing around everywhere in the pub and exploding. That was in Robin Hood's Bay, and he got barred. That was a great Christmas, actually. I tend to like Christmases where you're in the pub and everyone's too drunk in the country, and where you get snowed in and stuff, and you can't leave and things like that. It's much more fun. But I'm not doing any of that. I'm not having any parties. We've got a couple of friends coming over. We'll probably go up the road to my mate's just to see how he's getting on. He's even grumpier than I am about Christmas.
On Christmas days?
Yeah. We'll go up there and see how he's getting on, but he fucking hates Christmas. And it won't be funny. But we'll go up there and just have a look at how bad things could get. And then we'll probably go up to the Fruity pub at Biddiston and see...
Paul's got this local pub which we found with this very drunken landlord. I think, was he a lawyer or an actor? I can't remember. I think he was a barrister. And he was great, wonderful old fruit. Ah, my lovely boy, Paul, come sit here.
Yes. Oh, where are you two from? You're not from round here, are you? You. Where are you from then? Are you two together? Are you together? Did you come in together? Will you be leaving together? Is that your thing?
That's just
Is
what
that
he's
your
like.
thing?
That's just
Is
what
that the
it's
kind
like.
of thing you're into?
That's
You
just
two.
what he's like.
You two. Well, no. What do you want to drink? What do you want to drink? Well, we haven't got that, so you'll have to have this.
Yes, he's got like 2 drinks behind the bar and really about 8 dirty glasses.
Well, I didn't know which glass it was, and I wasn't paying attention.
And beyond him, over his shoulder, is a kitchen. You just get a glimpse of a kitchen. These about 4 dirty glasses, 1 beer on, and a kind of bottle of spirits, greasy bottle of spirits or 2.
He's a very seedy-looking person.
He's got a great greasy comb over.
A really dark black greasy comb over, which,
And,
bizarrely, I'm not even
beady
sure...
eyes, and he's always bending forwards, kind of gazing, looking, running his eyes up and down Paul's rather marvellous cute body. Northern lad.
Yes, northern lad. So where are you from? Where have you come from? Where are you going? What are you two together? Oh, are you with her? Oh, what a shame.
And then he's got this friend who comes in there in a blue Bugatti, I think it is, which is painted a kind of like, it's a really weird blue. It's like a powder, not a powder, but like a baby
He's not
blue.
interesting, the friend.
He's
Stop
another one.
talking about cars, it's boring. But the guy's so lascivious. He once said to we've only been in there 2 or 3 times, you two are nothing more than paid actors. What do you mean by that? It's such a bizarre...
As on the way out, we were walking out and he was going, don't listen to them, they're paid actors.
This is, by the way, if anyone wants to visit this pub, it's called the Biddiston Arms.
You've got to go there. It's
in Biddiston.
so run down.
Near Corsham.
And like, also you don't have, paying is voluntary. As far as I can
seems
tell.
that way, yeah.
'Cause, like, the number of times we've been in there and not paid. not through not wanting to pay, but he never gets round to the money. Filthy Luca.
Yes,
I'm going to learn myself.
we can do that later. We'll get to that later.
Yes. Later on,
And there's
after hours.
And there's a semicircle of lads from the local area stood around with their arms folded and bemused looks on their faces, just watching the floor show, basically. Yeah. And every now and then someone posh comes in, I've noticed, and mutters. He has little muttering conversations with them. It's almost like he's been taken out of London for his own good. I get the feeling he's been removed from somewhere and put there for safekeeping. It's a really strange setup, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's well. As I said, I think it's like the last throw of the dice. He's been drummed out of the legal profession, and he's a bit of a drunk, and he likes a stage. And in a way, he uses the pub a little bit like a law court, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got there's a sort of
He's like
there's the jury with the local guys up one side,
stood to
and
one
then it's
side,
you and
like
me
the
in the dock,
Correios.
you and me in the dock, and
Yeah.
one of us step forward and do a bit of defence work
right, yeah.
every now.
No, Your Honour.
That's why he said because these nothing to do than paid actors, which is how you discredit a witness.
Yes, exactly.
It's a very good crap pub because up the road is a kind of functioning pub which isn't nearly as interesting.
No, it
where
isn't.
they
It's
have
quite
proper
boring.
glass of wine and nice people.
Yeah.
But no, they
It's fabulous. So if you're in Biddiston near Corsham, do have a look.
yeah, it won't be there long.
Well, this is-
Unless he can do something very odd with the money. He looks to me like he's paying himself about £22 a week.
Hello.
Turn off the.
Just that acid I dropped last week, regurging on me.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't look like he's throwing money at his personal appearance.
He's over it, I think.
Yeah, his trousers. I think that the trousers. I saw the trousers
Does he
on
polish
every
them?
single occasion that I've been down to the pub, and the shoes. They're grimy and they have stains on them, and he's there's something with the belt as well in his tummy. It's all very. I didn't want to go too close to that.
I think it's like the old days, though, and I love all that. It's like I used to go to this pub once in Rochdale where there was this old guy playing he had this organ, with like two levels. So he'd have one hand on the top level and the other hand on the lower level, and his foot sort of stomping it. And he'd be playing stuff like, "That's the man behind the bar for the jukebox," and he had this fag hanging out of his mouth, and all his like scraped hair scraped back. And like really horrible patchy skin where he tried to shave and it had gone a bit weird and tufty. And then the fag was like
Skinnist.
Yeah, and the
Go on.
fag would be burning, and he'd just leave it like that. And eventually, this really long piece of ash, as he's playing the organ, would fall off onto his trouser leg, and he would just quickly rub it in like that with one hand and then carry on playing. Where are these characters?
Well, there's one in Biddiston. I said to Paul, it's the closest thing that Wiltshire gets to the Colony Room.
Yes.
Is it rooms or room?
Room.
Room, I thought it was. Yeah.
Definitely.
I never used to go there actually, or I never liked going there.
Definitely to be featured in our forthcoming book. Shit Southern England.
Yeah, but they can't be
Compendium.
ironic.
No.
They can't be ironic.
No
so,
irony.
so it would mean it's a very small book, but an absolute must-have pamphlet. It must have pamphlet.
We've got to do it.
They are genuinely crap, not not trying to be good.
So we've been asked, Guy, how is your Christmas anxiety? What are the anxiety levels? Feelings check.
Well, yesterday, as I say, I was really locked. I was jammed with my heart really tight, my mind in a little tiny, like a little wood, like a vole underground is how I felt. And I had to get the help of someone to get from my house, outside the house, to go and have a look at something about 20 yards from my house. I couldn't get out the house on my own. So really anxious and scared. But I had a good night's sleep. And today I feel some joy. I think it's seeing you, Paul. I know you've been away in Sweden and everything.
Yeah.
And I was really pleased when I got my tin of almonds to give you at Christmas until I saw your present to me. And then I was, oh, God, I'm sunk again. Because I remembered to give you because giving a present is so painful to me. I don't know why.
Guy, that's what...
I don't know why.
Do you know what I always think about Christmas is? I always tend to hate it, and then I get into it. Usually I get into it. This is what I failed to say last time. Is I kind of get into it. And one of the things that makes me get into it is I realise that it's a bit like when you're helping somebody. It's like when you're caring about somebody.
it doesn't really count unless you really feel it. If you're feeling it's putting you out, that's when you.
What you mean? Faking it isn't the same as actually feeling it.
No.
Oh God, I wish someone had told me that long. That's where I've gone wrong.
What I'm saying, though, guys, if you've got something in your hand and you think, actually, I don't want to give this to so and so. If this voice says, I don't want to give this away, I really like this. That's when you're doing the right. That's when you're doing it properly.
What? And you do give it to them.
And you give it to them anyway. Yeah. That's when you're doing it properly.
Right. Okay. But that
it has to hurt a little.
I understand that totally, but it's. And yeah, it does hurt a little bit. It hurts quite a lot. But it hurts often because I'm so embarrassed about what I've got.
What you mean? What you've got
sometimes,
and you're not
sometimes, not that rarely, Paul.
Yeah.
I go round to someone's house with a gift in the car, and I leave the gift in the car because I'm too embarrassed to give it to them. And it's not the thought that counts. Or maybe the gift is so bad it betrays, no thought whatsoever.
Right. Oh, what?
Like the tin of almonds.
Yes.
It's just like, guys, not how to think about this at all. Eleanor is allergic to almonds. How hard has he thought about this?
Yeah.
It's not even wrapped.
I thought there was something in it, like maybe. I thought it was an empty tin that you'd got and put something really interesting in.
One of your vintage tins. And
I
there's
didn't
something really
realise
nice
there
in
was
it. What would
something-
it be? Like a little stuffed bird or something?
No. What about like Zell, the Vice Engel? His little tins are all full of diamonds, guy. Little tins can contain nice things.
And all they were was like a really not very expensive tin of salted almonds.
Well, we'll just leave that with you, guy. You can think about that over the new year.
I want to work on my present giving because it's been a problem all my life. I don't mind going out to dinner and taking people out to dinner. I don't have any problem with that at all.
No, I've noticed that.
I just have no problem at all. But you think that's just so everyone can see, so I look good.
Yeah, well, you do tend to. Yeah, you do tend to
That's
enjoy giving when it makes you look good.
It's so brilliant that you said that. I love that about me. It's a new side to my character, which I'm going to polish.
It doesn't need much polishing. Guy. It's very well worn. That particular. But it's like a handrail that's been caressed by many hands. But
that's just ridiculous with appalling guy.
Yeah, appalling guy. I was going to say though.
Paul, I just want to say how much I love you, and it's been fun doing. This
Why are you
podcast
leaving
with
now?
You. No, not at all. But it is the end of the year, and your job is up for review.
Oh, for
but I'm
fuck's
very
sake.
much. I'm sure that you're going to fly through and get a contract for next year.
What I was going to say to you guys, here's one way of doing presents. If you want a new way of doing it, what you do is you go shopping and you just buy loads of things that you like.
Oh.
And then
you
bring them home
That's a good idea.
and then you decide who you're going to give them to.
That's going to do
That's
it
how I do
because
it.
I go into the shop and I think, what would someone like? And I totally freeze up.
No, never do that. Always buy loads of things that you like.
That's so... God, no one ever... That's a good tip.
But, you also have to think, if I was a lady, I would like these. And then buy them immediately.
How long can I think if I was a lady for?
As long as you like, guy.
Whole day?
A whole day. You can even wear the clothes. And then the other thing, of course, is to have a box throughout the year and just buy things and throw them in the box.
If only I was that kind of person.
But also, what goes in that box is the presents that you're going to recycle.
Re-gift.
Regifting is a good thing.
Re-gifting is like de-inviting.
Is it?
You shouldn't really be doing, should you?
I don't think I've done it this year.
No.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with it in principle.
Right.
As long as you repackage
You've got to be
it.
careful not to give the gift to someone who knows the person who gave you the
Unless
gift.
you really want to
Come across
look them in
really
the eye and
sweetly.
smile as you give it to them. Yeah, you gave me this piece of shit.
No.
I wonder how long
You
can
don't
keep
give
up.
it back to them. No one would give them back to them.
Why
you just
not?
give it back to their friend or something.
Yeah, so they're seen wearing it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying, do you know what that fucking skinflint guy gave me this? It was so shit. And it turns out it's the present that they gave you. Anyway, look, presents are overrated. I'm full of admiration for people who say, this year I won't be giving presents. I don't want to receive them. This is the charity I would like you all to pay to.
Oh, I'd hate that kind of thing.
What do you think of that? You hate charity.
Horrible virtue signalling. If you're going to give to charity, shut up and do it. Don't start boasting about
I'm
it.
full of
And if you're
admiration.
so fucking mean that you can't give to charity and buy your friends charities, go and work a bit harder. Or
Guy.
spend a bit less on both. No, it's horrible. It's just virtue signalling. It's the kind of stuff I bore.
You don't ever give to charity.
I'm not going to talk about it.
Good, all right, fair enough. I'm not going to talk about my
You're about to. You're going to get. I can't remember. I think written on this bit of paper is
how much I've given down the years. No, Guy, I would never. Obviously, like you said, gentleman never speaks of such things.
Loads of people do. They brag about it all
really
year
fucking
round.
hate that.
They brag about it. Anyway, but I just want to say, Paul, it's been so nice. We started the pod in September. We've got to the end of. We didn't know how long we were going to be able to do it for. Then we swore that we'd do it till one of us dies.
Yes.
Hopefully you. And then that's the bit.
You won't be saying that if I do, Guy.
Oh God, can you imagine the pod? The
lonely pod.
The Paul's funeral pod.
Whoa!
Whoa! Oh, guys,
well,
dead.
no, that's
and
the one I
Paul
was
has to
thinking
give
about.
Paul has to do the last pod.
The last pod.
It's like a.
Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Oh dear,
That's it,
the last pod.
pod.
Would you like? I mean, I was thinking though.
So are we gonna say goodbye and sign off, or are we gonna keep on talking?
Drop my microphone again.
What about that? Hold on.
I'll do the last pod for you, one lonely podder. I suppose alone. Guy's in the grave now. This is the last pod.
I'm not in the grave. You've got plenty of
forever.
time to practice. You've got years. I ain't going anywhere soon.
Don't go in the grave, Guy.
I'm not going anywhere soon.
Stay out of the grave.
One day I will go in there, but I'm not ready yet.
Hold the grave.
The show's not over yet. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening to us.
Have a wonderful Christmas.
It's nice. It's nice hearing your open ears.
Try not to commit suicide this Christmas. That's
No,
our advice.
don't do that. Our pod numbers cannot stand any losses of that nature. I'll be honest. So please, don't. If you commit suicide, I'm going to come around and
Piss on your grave.
No, bring you back to life. Slap some headphones on you and hit download.
If you do decide, can you just recommend us to a few people before you go? Maybe in the note.
Yeah. It's in your suicide note. You have, but this is not the reason.
Stop! It's not a funny thing to joke about this.
Right.
I meant it when I said that, and you had to reduce it to a little jokey, little joke about suicide. I meant it. Stay alive this Christmas, kids. It's worth it. I don't know why.
How did we become the subject of suicide? This is a Christmas.
Because
this is a Christmas special.
Christmas is very all that.
Oh,
people
you're right. No, it's domestic violence.
Domestic violence,
people beat each other up.
suicide, murder. All three things happen at Christmas. They spike.
Actually, in that book that I was telling you about, in my year of rest and relaxation, one of the best sentences was.
You mean like that dreary sentence you read me out?
Yeah, but you didn't. Paul's not very good. Paul isn't a connoisseur of sentences, but it was.
Connoisseur of sentences.
I looked at my watch. I think the sentence goes, I looked at my watch. Is it two sentences? I looked at my watch. It was 4:15. Full stop. And then it
That's
said,
a shit
Shut
sentence.
up! Shut up!
What is so good about that?
Just listen to the
What is
sentence.
so good
I'm
about
talking
that?
about the next sentence, which
All
is
right, so it wasn't even that sentence.
okay. It's this sentence.
She just wasted a sentence
listen.
on everybody.
Christmas was almost over, comma, thank God, full stop. Do you think that's a good sentence?
It's pathetic.
was almost
It's like
over,
school.
thank God.
It's like school. It's
All
like something you write in school.
Okay, Paul, okay.
No,
let's
Gal, I can
go.
give you a better. I can give you a better
Just
sentence than
one.
that right now. Right, you ready for this? This is off the top of my head. You ready?
Shoot.
It was 4:15 in the afternoon. Full stop. Christmas was gonna absolutely blow my pants off! Exclamation mark. What do you think?
Fade in the music fast.
Fuck that. You fucking. It's pearls before swine as usual. That's what it is. You fucking. You wouldn't know a fucking good sentence if it hit you in the knackers. If it put on a
I'm a purveyor of
just
fine
up and down on
sentences.
your
I'm a
bollocks.
purveyor
You
of
are
fine sentences.
absolutely.